Crosstalk, the unintentional transfer of signals between communication channels, a casual conversation.
Alright, looks like we've got some bonus content. Welcome to VGX-tra 002, where content that didn't quite fit in the regular episode gets published later as a little bonus. What we got in this episode is a quick science article from episode 029 with Ray Umerley. Pretty wild stuff is happening in the world of tech, and now even NASA is tapping on the brain power and ingenuity of the gaming industry to help out with its new project. Let's check it out. First one I got is NASA develops a 3D Mars-based simulator in collaboration with a game studio. I love everything about this.
So do I. It was interesting because, when I first saw the article and I was reading the headline, I'm like, simulating what exactly? like some of the technology doesn't exist yet. Because I was thinking like flight simulators where you're actually flying a plane that actually is real. But one of the things that struck me, and I absolutely loved, and hopefully I'm not stealing your thunder, on this one later.
Not rock out.
When they're going in the article, they were actually talking and they were interviewing with one of the mission operations innovation leads who kind of contracted this project, and it just stuck with me. He said, "Great art doesn't just move us as individuals; it can move entire societies." And he was talking really about this all being inspiration for what a vision of future space exploration could be. And I loved that idea, right? It's a simulator, and it's not necessarily to really teach you how the water treatment facility is going to process the water in the Martian wells or whatever it may be, but it's inspiring a generation who ultimately, when they come out into the world, are probably going to be the ones that are going to make this happen. And I love everything about that notion.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. They have a few screenshots of the simulation game. I'm not even sure what to refer to this as.
I don't either, yeah.
But there's a huge dome where it's basically a Martian biodome. And there's a little city that's developed in and around it. And the bottom left, I'm not even sure what that is. Will it give me a... Okay, it does give me a little pop-up. Future human colony on Mars. Oh, as imagined by Blackbird Entertainment. Okay. It looks like some type of infrastructure going on beneath the planet's surface.
I'm pretty sure the alien queen is where what main well is. I think it's where the colonists are located at this point.
Right. Yeah, also, you mentioned, what's his name? Dr. Jeff Norris of NASA. During the course of his presentation, he actually references, or at least has the cover art of Mass Effect in his presentation. And yeah, like I said, it's not really teaching people how to live on Mars. This is more of like a concept type of thing.
Yep.
But it's got the usability and the interaction of a video game, but it's got the science and the support of, NASA.
Well, and I think this goes back to, not only games as an art form, but also as an educational tool. And I remember when you spoke with Miss Molly, the cosplayer, and you were talking about things like the history lessons with Assassin's Creed, right? Like how they intertwine those things into there. It's a medium that I think, especially in today's generation, is perfectly crafted to deliver that kind of educational model when done in the right way, of course.
Of course. But yeah, I was actually, when you mentioned the education aspect, my mind did snap back to Assassin's Creed. And we've come to the point where even your casual gaming platform has enough computing horsepower where it can do what used to be considered high-level computing and high-level simulations. At this point, I don't want to say base level, but actually, yeah, some of the base level computing platforms would have sufficient horsepower for stuff that would be pretty advanced even 10 years ago.
Agree. Well, and it's funny because when you were talking about the inspiration aspect, one of the moves that actually inspired me ultimately later in life to get into information security and then eventually into privacy was War Games in the 80s. When I
Oh.
saw that movie, and Whopper and the computer hacking thing and everything, that affected me so deeply. It ultimately did influence kind of where I ended up. But you think about what that computer was doing at the most basic level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the things it was running, and it was basically managing an entire nuclear infrastructure. And then that could
Yes.
easily be done probably on 15% of my MacBook power that I'm currently running now. So,
Oh, sure. Because a lot of what the extra computing power does now, I mean, so in the context of War Games, that was basically running, it was running the simulations, but all the data was being visualized in terms of just flat digits and text. Well,
Yep.
now we can do that on top of, or underneath, I should say, high-end visualizations.
Exactly. Yep.
So I love to see larger companies teaming up with either gaming studios or looking towards games for inspiration for not just how to create a simulation or a model of something, but also just how to visually represent it and figure out an interface to how to interact with it. That's the thing. Games definitely have an advantage, or we should be looking at games a little bit more as far as interfaces are concerned, because that's a very large part of a gaming experience is, can I interact with this? Can I get to the menus in a logical sense, given the inputs that I have access to?
Right. I mean, unfortunately, if this simulator was like EVE Online, no offense to anybody who plays that game, it probably wouldn't get very far nowadays, right? So,
No.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome, right? Well, that's all for this bonus episode. But hey, we're about to head into con season, and if you're in the capital region of New York, there's a chance I might see you at one. Keep watching the website and my Facebook page for where I'll be next. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode all over your social media accounts, and leave a review for the next potential listener. But until the next full episode, always save your game before doing something incredibly stupid, but potentially awesome.